Today I'm starting a brand new Minecraft world in Creative, where I am going to be building with no plan. And here I am in what looks like an amazing Minecraft world. Obviously I am using the Tectonic data pack, which just enhances what the biomes in Minecraft looks like. I'm also using the Dungeons and Taverns data pack, which is why there's this random structure here. And this little house here has given me a little bit of inspiration of what I want to build, as I think building something by this mountain view would be a really good idea. And if you're interested, here's the seed. But what do I actually want to build? Well, I think I want to build some sort of a farming town. And I'm not going to lie, I've already tried building something without a plan. However, it just really didn't work out and I wasn't a fan of it. So we're going to try again. But for that, I need some sort of block palette. And taking some inspiration from that house down there, I want to incorporate some oak wood and some spruce wood. And I think this will be the best area to do it in. I think something that would be cool is to add somewhat of a center into this build. So I want to build a 5x5 square for a design later on, and I think I want to build houses around the rest of it, and then have a path leading down this way to this little house here. And as I'm planning out a design, it looks like we have a visitor, and he's got loads of cool custom traits he can give us. So I want to grab a few emeralds and get all of these mini blocks, which is a part of the Vanilla Tweaks data packs. So I definitely want to buy some barrels and some crafting tables, and also some granite, some tuff, and some cherry leaves. And I'll also grab the flowering azalea leaves as well. There we go. And I think something like this works well as a centre, as if there was an old marking on the ground, but it has grown over time. Yeah, after adding a bit of moss carpet and some short grass, I think that looks good. Now onto one of the houses. And I think this will be a good place for one of them, so I want to place a log here. Count out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Place a block there. Out the way, llama. Yeah, I think that's a decent size. And then go across a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. And then another log like that. And I think something like that will work well for the first house. But I don't just want to use wood for these builds. I want to also incorporate some packed mud if I can. As honestly, it's a really nice looking block and I feel like I don't use it enough. But I also don't know how well it will work along the sides. So I think I'll just start with an oak log frame. And for the first house, I think I'm happy with a shape like this. And I think a roof something like this for the first house will work well. And I think the packed mud on the inside will hopefully work well as well. Which reminds me, we should add a well at some point. But that can come in the decoration phase. And as I'm building around these walls, I want to say that this video is inspired off of Flowstate, who's been doing a lot of building in Minecraft with no plan videos recently, which has really inspired me to try it myself. And whilst I'm doing this, make sure to subscribe, as I want to see how many subscribers I can be on by the end of the year. Honestly, for the walls of this build, I think just spruce planks would work really well. Although it looks basic, I'm pretty happy with it. All we need to add now is a door, and I think a double entrance here would look good. We'll break those two blocks, and I want to add in some spruce stairs. Then I want to add in some birch doors, as well as some birch trapdoors, just to add some more contrast. Next I want to design the roof, and I'm thinking of going for something basic like some birch, and then mixing in some moss as well. Yeah, you know what, I'm not too sure about that. Maybe the roof is too big for the actual building. Yeah, honestly, I think oak doors work better, and I think I just want to do a simple slab roof instead. Yeah, that definitely works a lot better. Even something as simple as that, I think works. But for extra decoration, I do want to mix in a bit of jungle wood. And then we could also mix in a couple of hay bales, put some signs in front, and maybe on one or two of them add in some flower pots. And one last thing, we could mix in a bit of moss. Yeah, I'm really happy with this roof design now. Although the spruce planks do look a bit boring by themselves, I'll come back to decorate it later, as I want to build the next two houses, which are going to be either side of the centre here, as I want a path connecting all of the houses and then sloping down this hill. And I'm going to add barrels at the bottom, as it acts as more of a support block than an oak log does. And I think it just looks much better. I think for this building here, I want it to be the tallest, and then this one can be a couple blocks smaller. And yeah, heights like this should definitely work. Next I want to connect all these logs up again. And using World Edit, I want to fill in the walls. I know right now it looks very basic, but I think adding on the roofs will definitely help. Yeah, the roofs definitely help with detail. To help with a flat wall on this side, I want to build up a cow pen, which shouldn't be too difficult. All I need to do is build up some mossy cobble and some cobblestone walls, and then raise it up a couple blocks so the mobs can't escape. And for the rest of the blocks, we can just add some slabs. And inside of this animal pen, I want to mix in some coarse dirt to make it look like it's much dirtier, as there have been animals living in here before. I've added a gate in here and I want to spawn a few cows inside. And you know what? We could also add a few hay bales inside as well, just so it looks like they have something to eat, even though they can't really eat these hay bales. Also for this building, I decided to put trapdoors along the wall and some sticking out like this to make it look like there's an open door. And between these two buildings here, I want to grab some acacia and some oak leaves. And then I want to extend it all the way around this bit as well, so I can create a wheat field here, as these cows may need something to eat, even though they've got hay bales inside. And in my opinion, the best way to hydrate a crop field is to break a couple blocks down, put a lantern, put a mangrove root and waterlog it. And we can continue that over here as well. Add another one round here. And round here. And one here as well. All I need to do now is grab a netherite hoe, and I'll jump in survival because it's probably quicker. And just farmland all of this area. Now that there's farmland everywhere, you may think it's time to fill it all with wheat. But you're wrong, as I want to mix in some wheat. But I also want to add some short grass, some tall grass, some sweet berries, and some dandelions. And I think a crop field like this looks so nice. Plus the bee over there looks like he really likes it. I decided to do a little bit of work off camera. Hey, I'm up here. There we go, that's better. Although not everything is done yet, I have added some level of detail. For example, on the spruce planks, I've mixed in some stripped spruce logs, as it just really helps with decoration. I've added some log piles, some chest piles, and an interior decorated as well. For example, in the first house here, I've got a nice shelf with a lantern and flower pot, a bookshelf, some paintings up in the place, and a couple of beds in the corner. And then I decided to turn this massive building here into the storage warehouse, where there's loads of barrels, chests, note blocks, a custom wheelbarrow. Then I've also done this cool campfire shelf, where it looks like it's storing potatoes and meat, as there's room for another field here, which I think will be potatoes. I then went and decorated the cow pen a bit more with this cool mud pile. Yeah, mud. Yeah. But I've still got this house left to decorate. So I want to grab some moss, some hay bales, some signs, some flower pots, in order to add some more detail. Yeah, that definitely helps to add detail. Next, I do want to do this interior. So for the floor, I want to mix in some spruce planks and some coarse dirt. As this is a farming town, so it would end up being a lot dirtier inside of the houses. And somehow I've turned half of this crop field into spruce planks. I don't know how I did that, but this field here will probably be another one of these wheat fields, as honestly they just look so cool in this area. But I'll do that in a bit, as I want to quickly go in here and decorate the roof. And by that I mean just making a roof. And then I also want to add some fences along here as windows. And on the outside with the fences, I also want to add some trapdoors, just to help break up the otherwise flat texture on the sides. You know what? Something cool for this house would be to add a chimney. So I want to grab some mud brick, and we'll just make it a small one. It doesn't need to be massive. Something like that. Place some trapdoors around a campfire. And then I'll add a polished granite slab on top. Then we've got a nice little chimney on this building. As I think for the interior, I want to add some smokers, as if this is where the people of the village cook their food. Which means I can place down some campfires and create another sort of food storage shelf. And we'll mix in the beef and potatoes. And honestly, something as simple as this works really well. Next, I want to create another custom field. So once again, we'll grab the water and the mangrove roots in order to hydrate these crops. Next, I need to turn all of this into farmland. And then I want to add in all of the wheat, dandelions, sweet berries, and bits of tall and short grass. There we go, this second wheat field is now looking very good, which means there's only one field left to build. So I'll grab my acacia and my oak leaves and create another circle around here. And I think something of that size will definitely work. Obviously, I'll need to hydrate these crops again. Then we create farmland. Now that there's farmland, I want to obviously add in some potatoes, sweet berries, dandelions, and some short and tall grass again. And one thing I do want to do for this field is dig a pathway through it, just so it continues out of a storage warehouse. And at the end, I'll add a composter and fill it up a little bit. There we go, another field completed. Although the main structures have now been designed, I do want to add some small decorations. So I want to start using some of these blockheads we got earlier on. So I think some cool crafting table and barrel ones would look good around here. I think actually in the storage room they'd work really well as well. Something like this. Place one there. Then we can place one, I guess, here. And we'll place the flowering azalea ones on some of the mangrove roots. And I guess we can have some scattered around anyway, as if they're small bushes. So another one like there. Then we'll add, you know what, a crafting table one works well there. Next, as I mentioned earlier, I want to add in a well. So I guess we'll just place some stairs in a circle pattern like this. There we go, 2 fences up on each side. And we'll use oak stairs as a roof. There we go, and we'll fill it full of water. And finally, one last detail is to add a path going down the hill to this little hut down there. So all I need to do is connect up the coarse dirt path to here. Add some spruce slabs as a step downwards. And then we'll continue it down like this. There we go, we've now got a nice coarse dirt path going all the way down from the village up there, down to this little hut down here. And now I think I'm finished, and I think this area turned out really well. And checking on shaders, we can actually see what I've done. For example, this mark in the ground looks really cool, and I sort of even based it off of my channel profile picture. The interior of the storage room looks really cool now, and so do the wheat fields. And the cow pen also looks really cool, especially this steaming pile of mud. It's mud, I swear it's mud. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, as I really want to try this again in the future, maybe even in my hardcore world. So if you did enjoy, let me know in the comments and make sure to subscribe.